I can tell you that the fitness industry is definitely on the rise when it comes to LinkedIn, personal branding, visualizing your personal story. Welcome back, welcome to a new video for me, welcome back home. I was actually in Australia last week on holiday and I had the best time. I went to a Ziggy Albert's concert. I went surfing in Byron Bay, I saw koalas, kangaroos in the wildlife, almost stepped on a snake. But overall, I just really enjoyed a week off and starting straight into everything, coming back to work. Actually, one point that I also realized for myself in my personal business journey that I am still in a position where I can't just say, oh, I'm leaving like for a week now and everything continues to go on how it should be, right? So everything still like evolves around me, which is kind of obvious because I don't have like fully employed people working for me. So I can take a week off and that's totally fine, that's doable, and I can also not think about it. But what I actually do is just postponing my workload before and after, right? So I kind of like worked a lot before and I work a lot after. So that's not ideal. That's something that I want to take with me into 2026 to think about it, to restructure, to rethink, to consider an agency model, etc. But yeah, something that I personally deal with right now, thinking about in my business. And if you're thinking about LinkedIn, well, then you found the channel that you should follow along, especially if you're in the fitness, sport and health industry, because I've been working with amazing brands, for example, like HYROX over the last year. And I can tell you that the fitness industry is definitely on the rise when it comes to LinkedIn, personal branding, and also putting their founders and employees in the spotlight on the platform. So this video is actually more like a vlog kind of format. I will take you along over the next couple of days because I have a kickoff call with another really cool brand that you all probably know if you're in Germany and Europe. And we position the founder on LinkedIn, and I will guide you through a framework that I use in kickoff calls and explain a little bit about it, so you can maybe just see for yourself if this is something that works for you, if you're starting a journey, if you want to share something and guide you through this. So I hope this helps and you like the combination of educational content but also personal stuff. If you're interested in my life, I'm just vlogging this because in a few years I will be able to look back and see what happened, what changed, how far I've come, how I've grown, and I think this is something really cool and also a big thing that is a big plus for you to make your personal brand visible, because then you have to produce content anyway, but you will visually see what you're going through in a couple of years. Actually, first tip that I want to share with you, it's a tool, it's called Miro. So it's a Miro board, you probably heard of it, maybe you're using it, but I also find it always like super helpful to just visualize certain things when it comes to clients, when it comes to processes. And yeah, I also use that for my kickoff onboarding call tomorrow, because we have 3 steps that we go through in the kickoff. So first of all, we want to clarify what is his or her story. We want to clarify the positioning. We want to clarify his brand voice and also the topics that he's standing for. So I can't zoom in here too much because I don't want to share like any confidential things, but to get you just a brief understanding how this might look. So you have like a lot of like space here basically to like, yeah, visualize everything, and then you can like, you know, zoom in, you can like use post-its and tables and time frames and all that. So yeah, that's pretty cool. It's called Miro. I don't know if I have an affiliate link for that. I mean, I should probably look into this, huh? Yeah, this is not paid advertisement, unfortunately, but honest feedback and honest tip for you guys. All right, I got all my client stuff done for today. I prepared the kickoff call, so that is good to go for tomorrow. Just had one project update call for HYROX, so I know what's going on behind the scenes. Things that you don't know yet. It's going to be exciting, but anyway, I just had a project update call, and I can prepare based on this content for what's to come in the next month, so that's great. And now I'm actually taking care of myself, because if you do a lot of sports, you know how important it is to also properly recover, and I will have a 90-minute deep tissue sport massage now. Love that. Happy Saturday. I just finished a 10K run in the gym, slowly getting back into it. And I sat down actually with my fiance yesterday because he's doing my programming, and we will start a new training block basically on Monday. So that's going to be back to training, back to preparing for our next races in Bangkok and Istanbul. I actually just listened also to a podcast while running from the founders themselves at the Online Marketing Rockstar podcast. I will also just like blend it in here. It's in German, so sorry for everyone English speaking, but for any German speaking people watching, definitely check it out. It gives you a great overview, the whole story. How HYROX developed, what it actually is, where they're standing, also from a business and marketing perspective. So if you're into this, then definitely go watch it. I just head back home, quick shower, meet a friend for coffee, and then I will definitely tell you what I promised in the beginning, give you some insights on the personal branding framework, the timeline that I'm always using for kickoff calls, because I have a kickoff call today, and yeah, we'll let you know later. All right, everyone, as promised, we are diving into the personal branding framework, the timeline for your personal brand story. So this is just one of the things that I go through with my clients in the kickoff calls, but this one is actually quite interesting because a lot of people don't really connect personal branding, I think, with just their personal story. So if we put it into perspective, and maybe you have sometimes the situation where you look back and you connect the dots and then you think like, oh, this is how we ended up here, this is how we landed here. And this is exactly what you can think of when you go through this personal branding timeline, basically. So what I would do is to sit down and ask my new clients, like, hey, what happened for you in the last, let's say, 10 to 15 years, depending on actually also where they are in business, how old they are, obviously, as well, to just like have a good time frame and then mark key events during that time that happened for them that basically played a huge role for them to end up where they are today. So in my case, for example, I would put down key events like I started posting on LinkedIn in my master's. I directly jumped into self-employment. I was never employed, so making that jump straight after university to signing my first like freelance clients through LinkedIn, realizing, oh, I actually know how this works, and then people asking me questions about LinkedIn. Oh, okay, there could be something interesting coming up in the future. Then obviously signing my first clients, gaining more brand awareness, like key things, key factors that played a role throughout my history, throughout my story, that now ended up putting me into the place where I'm at today. So to give you an understanding, this is how it can look. I'll just record the screen here for you, so you get the full glimpse of it, and then I can like screen record my screen but then also look into the camera, so I think that's quite cool. I don't have to edit this video, so I don't know how this is going to be played out, but we'll see. So what you see here is basically a timeline that I will go through with my client today. For him, his main event started in 2010 until basically now, and then you see the timeline is a little bit longer here. So we also having a look into what's coming next, but what I wanted to focus on and emphasize here is that you see all these post-its, right? So what you could do is you have those post-its and then you can like basically drag and drop them around and write some key events on the post-its. So for example, if I write down 2012, this is where he, for example, started a YouTube channel that then became so big in his industry that this basically kicked off everything that came afterwards, right? So the key event of starting this in 2012 helped him to now be at the point where he's at today. So this is what you can go through and just have like a conversation with yourself or with someone that you want to just talk to and basically sit down and connect the dots backwards to see what actually happened to where you're at today. To add another key event for me, for example, I had a breathwork session beginning of this year, so 2025 would have one posted for me saying breathwork session, January 2025, breakthrough of shifting towards the fitness industry, right? This is like a big point and a big part of my story that helped me doing what I'm doing now. So this is exactly what I will go through, and like trying to pick up the stories that the client will tell me to understand where they are, where they want to head to, and like fully understand their personal journey. What you can do then is you can like either maybe also use different colors. So let's say 2012 was a great event, but then I don't know, 2014 was like an even bigger event, and we want to like highlight this in, I don't know, red, to kind of like also put emphasis on those events that were a little bit more important. What we can do then is also like basically lift them a little bit higher to also visualize it. And what we can also do is add text. For example, I will add a text box here and say someone that helped here. Like, are there important people, like persons that like also played a huge role in this, right? So basically just some more side notes that are important to know for this storyline to be a little bit more than just one sentence or one bullet point, right? So this is how you can like go through your last 10 to 15 years, depending, maybe it's just 5 years, that's totally fine, but basically visualizing your personal story and then using this to help going into the next step, which will be like a personal branding canvas. Maybe you heard about this. It's just like a brief overview of your personal brand strategy. And also, of course, like the factors like who is your ICP, your ideal client profile, who you want to target, who do you want to talk to, what are the topics, how is your brand voice, what maybe 3 key factors you want to stand for. There's like so much more than just like, you know, putting down a timeline and adding key events. But this is also just one example and one little thing that I would do for an overall personal brand strategy. Okay, I hope this helped, and also you like this to kind of like get a little bit more insights on also like the things and how I work and what I do. So I hope, you maybe just sit down and do the same thing for you. Yeah, I have 3 hours now until I kick off with my client, and yeah, I'm excited to do that because it's also always super interesting to hear life stories, to just like get to know people, to hear super exciting founder stories from people that already like did amazing things. And yeah, I'm fortunate to be that person to put it into LinkedIn post in the end. And exciting. Right, I'm about to start the kickoff call and I'm actually a little bit nervous. Like, I don't know, for a reason, I'm always like, oh, you know, did I prepare everything the best I could? And hopefully everything goes well and the client likes it and it does make sense and they're willing to tell a lot of things, you know, because people also need to tell those stories in order for me to like work with it. Yeah, let's get going. I will report back. That was really great. As I would always say, that's great. No, it was an awesome kickoff call. He is definitely a person that loves to talk. He even said in the call, like, please interrupt me if I talk too much. I was like, no, that's perfect. You just go ahead. So yeah, I'm always like overthinking a lot of things when it comes to this, but in the end, it's like all fine, you know, and it all works out and it's all like really good prepared. And yeah, we had a really good flow. Everything is done. And now we just have a quick 10-minute admin call on Monday again. So just like some final bits, but that's basically it. So I have everything now that I need in order to get his profile going and all the things that I need. So that's pretty exciting. And yeah, I'm just really, really excited for this collaboration. Awesome. At some point you will know who it is, but at first, oh yeah, that's also a good thing that that is, I would say, a core value for me, because what I often see is that people like post on LinkedIn or social media like, oh, amazing, I signed this client, you know, and just kind of like use the name for credibility. And I feel like you can't do that if you haven't like actually delivered results, right? So it's like, I can just like tell you the name here straight away and it's like, oh cool, that's this amazing guy and a company and brand you all know, but it's like, why? Like, that's not the point. Like, I'm definitely proud in a couple of months when the results that he wants are there, but I definitely don't want to, you know, just scream it out and say like, oh, that's amazing, like you work for this person, and like kind of like use that. So I don't know. That was just a thought that came up. So for everyone who's doing it, you do you, that's okay, but that's just my personal take on this. This actually marks the end of the video, and to wrap this year up, thank you so much for your support, for watching the videos. This is like such a small channel and I feel like I'm mainly putting stuff out there just for my own, and I don't, you know, like receive a lot of feedback yet on YouTube, and like just mainly doing that out of fun and it doesn't bring me anything back. But it's been nice to know that some of you have been watching this, and I have a lot more planned for 2026. I definitely have the big vision of becoming the person when it comes to LinkedIn marketing in the sports and fitness industry. I want to be the person that you guys reach out to if you have a question and bigger brands will know me for. So I will definitely put also my personal brand on a different level next year, and I can't wait to take you along. Obviously, there will be a lot of more HYROX races be planned and coming up as well. And yeah, see you in 2026. Have a great Christmas, have a great New Year's, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.